Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Careful Boys, where we have Steve Chen out here with us today, y'all. Part two, yeah. It's really fascinating. You're totally a hustler of education, soliciting education to people in the entire 626 area and stuff like that. So we still want to get into that story of like how you became who you are today, but at the same time connecting all the dots from this hustle of tutoring education to teaching in a school as well.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, thanks again for having me here. Going back to my story of my total tutoring adventure, tutoring journey. So last time we talked about like where I was, passing out cards, brochures to, attract leads, to get customers for my tutoring business. Eventually, what happened was I started tutoring a lot of kids. I couldn't fit any more people within my schedule.
This is after you graduated all your college and masters and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then I was also I was also working as a public school teacher at that time too. And I was
when you started tutoring, then was it during your like undergrad or like what? So you started the business early on, right? So you're like, I'm not doing American Apparel anymore, or American Eagle, And then you started tutoring at like what, second year in college, third year, or whatever. I see. So then that became your thing. Like that's my side gig. I'm making good money. Okay, and then you're like, once I become a teacher, then I'm gonna focus on my career, but your tutor also picked up as a good side hustle?
That's right, yeah.
Gotcha,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so I've been tutoring since I was 19. That was my first time I actually sat down and got paid that $15 an hour. Yeah, and then, that ramped up all the way through my college years. That's what kind of sustained me, just as a college kid. That's when I started, once I had enough students at that time where I was like, oh, you know what, I don't have to work at American Eagle anymore or GNC or this art school. I can just tutor, I get paid way more. Then I just kind of cut everything out and just went for the higher leverage activity. That's cool. There.
When did you have the, like, I guess, revelation of like, something's not right and I need to pursue like financial intelligence? Because there's a lot of teachers, even if they're good at math, they still pursue that path, and there's no need or urgency to go like, wait a minute, this is like my career, but something doesn't add up with life. Like when was that moment for you where you're like, I need to like...
Can I ask the one that's right before that?
Yeah.
Because it'll lead to that.
Okay.
So it's, first, how did you even want to become a teacher? And then, because your family seems very entrepreneurial, and they seem like the Chinese family that'll be like, teacher, you need to be in finance or like business, or something like that. So that, I think that's the first choice that I'm really curious about. And then Bart's question after that.
Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah, like my parents, they thought, this is like very typical, right? Like they thought it was the best route to become a doctor or a dentist or something like that.
Teacher first?
No, before me being a teacher. I
To
become a teacher.
That's why you're in science, right?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, so I actually switched a lot of I went through a lot of different things. I first went to, I was an architect major. Yeah, so then I did architecture for a while. Didn't like it, and then I was like, because at that time I like to draw. I like to design things.
Oh, that's why the art's
math.
Cool too.
So I was like, oh, maybe I can do something like that. I did it for a year. I didn't like it, so I was like, okay, maybe I need to I need to like switch on over. I was watching. I know this sounds dumb. I was watching like Grey's Anatomy at that time. I was like, oh, maybe
it'll get you hooked.
Yeah, I was like McSteamy, McCarty, one of those guys, right? And then I was like, oh, maybe I can be a doctor, because my mom and dad, they're always like, oh, you want to be a doctor or a lawyer? That's like the way to go. So I went into sciences, took a lot of bio, OChem, and all that stuff. I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to be a doctor anymore.
Hell no.
OChem.
That's just whack.
OChem will do it. We were just talking about it before you came in.
Oh, were you guys
talk about OChem.
Well, because that was like lower division sciences, that was the hardest one you can take.
That was the first hard one.
And then I remember going into my 4th year when I transferred, then they're like, oh, the next one was, I think after that was biochemistry.
Yeah.
And they're like, biochemistry makes OChem look like child's play. And I was like, fuck that! I was like, dude, OChem already killed me, dude.
It's pretty hard. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. But I was like, okay, maybe I can do pre-med. Didn't like that. I met my best friend in college, and then he was like, oh, you should do dental school. it's more flexible. You don't have to be on call all the time. I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I can do that. So I will follow that route. I had I was in my science major already. I switched on over from being an architect major, and I was like, okay, I'll do that. And I literally 1 quarter before I was about to graduate, I was like, oh, I don't think I want to be a dentist anymore. Wow. Yeah, I called my mom and I was like, oh, mama, like I don't think this is for me. I don't want to look at people's mouths like every day. Like this is, I don't know if I can do this. My mom was just like, but you went through school, like you're almost about to finish, you know? Like what are you gonna do? So then I was like, I want to be a Pixar animator.
Oh shit! What the fuck? Yeah. That's crazy.
So I graduated with my science degree. I walked everything and I got my degree. So I was like, okay, cool. But then I started taking art classes at a community college, and then I did that. And then I remember this one day I was just like sitting there, and then there was a person next to me. He was like, we were drawing. I took a class. I didn't know what class I was taking, but it was like a life drawing class.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Life drawing class is just like people. But the first day of class, I found out that it was like a nude life drawing class. So like, you know,
score. You get nude, and you draw your own dick.
It's like,
and then he's like, Mama, I don't want to be drawing dicks all day.
It's like most of the class.
They told me to get naked.
It's not as glamorous. It's more like the older gentlemen, you know, like
They look kind of funny. They look kind of.
So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, we're super respectful. We're like sitting in a circle, we're drawing them and everything. But
Guy kept winking at me.
I remember sitting there this one day, and then my friend next to me was drawing. I'm like looking at his art, and I was like, oh my gosh, like you're so good. Like how like it's just like the shadows and the muscles are all popping. I'm looking at mine, and it's like just a little funky looking. And then I'm asking him questions like, oh, like how long, like what's your goal? What are you trying to like do? He was like, yeah, I've been here for like the last 3-4 years, and I'm trying to get to Pasadena Art School, but I just can't get in. And I was like, okay, like if you're drawing that well,
oh yeah,
literally it's hard.
Hardcore.
I quit the next week.
You're a realist.
I was like, oh no, I don't think I can do that. Yeah.
My dumb ass is like, I'm gonna keep trying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get these shadows right.
The model's all eyes up here, gentlemen. You have so much
stop talking to each other.
Self-awareness of the world and like of yourself, and I feel like what college student has that level of like insight and go, maybe it's not the right thing. Because I feel like everybody I knew was impulsive as shit.
You have good internal dialogue.
Yeah. Nobody questioned themselves. They're like, I'm gonna do this thing.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to do it anymore. Or they say I'm gonna do it and they did none of the work. That's all I know.
Dang. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that time I just called I called my friend, I called my mom again. I was like, oh, maybe I need to switch into something. And I was like, you know, I've been tutoring all these years since like 19 all the way into college. I was still tutoring at that time when I was in art school, taking my bio classes and everything. And I was like, maybe I'll just be a teacher. I like that. Yeah, it's like and I've been tutoring SATs and everything. I already know the subject. So I got my CSET, CBEST, took everything, got my master's or my teaching credentials. And I became a teacher from there on. Yeah, and I loved it. I love being a teacher. Yeah, for sure. I think just
Until you got your paycheck though.
until yeah.
It's bullshit.
It was mostly the paycheck and the
The kids, you hate kids. No, I'm just kidding.
it's
The politics?
yeah. There's like a little bit of the politics and then also just it's like the admin stuff that I just didn't like because as being a teacher, like you don't just teach. It's also
Taking roll.
yeah, like okay, that's one of them, right? Like printing out papers, fixing the copy machine, like it's like always breaking.
It's
right?
all out of your pocket, isn't it?
Some things, because sometimes like if you want to get like funding from the school, like you want to like get something like brand new, like a tech thing or something, right? It's like there's so many hoops and paperwork that you have to fill out. So I'm just like, I don't even want to go through this. I'll just buy it myself, right?
Oh, right. So much red tape.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes when my students need something, I'm like, oh shoot, I don't have enough folders or whatever. So I have to like, I go to Walmart usually in fall time. I go to Walmart, they have like the 39-cent, the dollar sale, whatever. I just grab a whole bunch of folders and I just pass them on to my kids. Yeah, or like pencil supplies, something like that. If the school doesn't supply that. So there's that, and also like what people don't really realize when they get into teaching is that it's not just teaching the subject. A lot of it is taking care of the kids, like teaching the like the hidden curriculum. That's what we call it. It's like teaching them to like wait their turn. To,
Like the soft skills.
Yeah, that's right. Like someone like pushes you, or like okay, like hey, like what's up? Like what maybe we can say sorry. Like what's going on? Like why did you do that? Right?
Like character development.
That's right. So there's a lot of that, right? So it's like kids come in. It's not like they just sit down and do their work.
Right.
Like, sit down and I'm just like oh hey, and then someone has a bloody nose over here, and then someone like lost a paper, someone's crying because their pencil broke, or their eraser popped off or something.
It's a lot of management.
It's a lot of management, right?
Or is a kid hiding his bone underneath the desk?
I don't know. Never experienced that.
Especially at that age, dude. Can't stand up yet, teacher. Tell you later.
I can't get up.
I feel so bad for the shit that I've done.
Just to torture your teachers,
He
right?
just had he had the moment where like the character looks at a puddle.
35 years later, you're like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, because the teacher can't even get to the topic.
No.
I know. Like, I'm just trying to. Chapter 1.
Man,
That's true. Oh man.
how we're dealing with parents of the teachers at, of the students at a public school versus the tutor parents? Like,
Well, yeah, of course the behavior of the kids that I tutored is a little bit easier to manage because well one. Typically if you're in a higher socioeconomic class, then the parents teach them a little bit like, more well-behaved manners, right? So it's easier to work with. Also, like, it's just one-on-one.
Yeah.
Or also, like, later on, I haven't talked about this yet, but I also started doing group tutoring, and that's when I started to scale. But it's easier to manage compared to, like, back when I was a public school teacher, I think the most, on average, I usually have 32, 34 kids within a class, and there's 5 periods of that. The most I had was around 41. Wow. Yeah, so that was, I think they were they squeezed in a couple of students. You're not supposed to. I think there's a cap to how many students are to go to a teacher at a single moment, right?
So you had to teach 40 kids by yourself? You didn't have like an aide or anything?
No aide or anything like that, yeah. But later on, when I went to another school, I had an aide for like certain periods, but most of the time there's no aide.
Almost all my schools were like that. 30
40
plus.
kids by yourself? That's scary, bro.
So it's a lot. It's a lot, yeah, for sure. But
so you'd have to have meetings with parents about their kids' behavior, not even the academic side sometimes.
a lot of it, yeah, it's like behavior, like, and then we also have to be very empathetic too. Because a lot of times when students are struggling in school, it's not because they want to be bad, right? They want to be mean or whatever. It's just there's stuff going on at home. So they take it out in school with their friends and everything. So a lot of times when they misbehave in class, like even though I get like upset, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to get through this curriculum or I'm gonna fall behind, right? Like I get kind of upset, but when I ask them like, hey, you wanna, maybe we can chat outside, I have to like, for myself, I gotta like calm myself down too. Like, okay, like don't be like aggressive or anything, right? Don't be don't like try to go on the offense. Like ask them like, oh, how are you doing right now? Like, oh, what's going on? Like, just be like a friendly person. Because I learned that if you want the kids to do well in your class, the number one thing is they have to like you first. They have to like you. Because like, if you think about it, like for us, when we went to school, most likely we don't remember what we learned from our teachers specifically.
Yeah, that's true.
I do remember the teachers I liked and don't like.
But that's right. But you remember the
Absolutely.
impression and how they made you feel, like as a just like a right, like if they had good character, if they were empathetic and kind, right? Yeah. So I always have to keep that in mind. With that too, and also when we talk to parents, I also have to be empathetic with the parents because I know that a lot of the parents they're working, right? A lot of them have like super busy schedules. They work until like 8, 9 o'clock, and then kids are at home. They're by themselves with maybe like little brother, little sister. They need to take care of them too. So there's a lot going on with them doing homework and them taking care of like their little siblings and stuff, right? So it's like I don't want to like put the blame on the parents too. I'm like, okay, so it's cool, like we understand where you're at, but at the same time we also need to make sure we work as a team. I'm gonna do my best. Parents, you can try to do your best too, like put in 10-15 minutes a day just to check if the homework's done, and then also the student has to have their own accountability and ownership themselves. So we call this like the tripod of like student success. Right.
You're a good teacher, man.
Oh, thanks. No.
Because I'll tell you what, I'm sure a lot of us had public school teachers that didn't have the sensibility or empathy.
Or the intention, too.
And they just ruled with the iron fist or carelessness.
Can I ask you what you would do in the famous impossible conundrum? If a kid is acting out and is misbehaving in class because he's having a bad home life where like his parents are hard on him or they beat him up, and you have to have a meeting with the parents, what do you say to the parents so that they don't beat him up more that night?
Or they don't beat you up.
It's always on the table.
Physically or verbally?
Both. Because like that was the thing that where it's like if I'm getting, it's like a cycle. It's like if my parents are beating on me, so I become kind of an asshole in school, and then I get in trouble in school, and then the teacher talks to my parents. Anything they say about me will lead to me getting beat up more. Yeah. So I'm like, what's...
Because you know what I always thought the dynamic was?
Yeah.
I thought the dynamic was my teacher could tell I got my ass beat. So in the parent-teacher conference, he would or she would egg it on even more so that I get beat more to hopefully act right next day.
Yeah, because it's like that cycle that a lot of kids were going through.
It was a different time, though.
But I'm like, what? Did you ever find a technique to kind of break that chain?
I don't think I've met kids that were visibly beaten physically or anything. Or I wasn't aware.
Because you have to report it if you do, right?
I would have to report it. But if, I that's something I
Without disclosing the location or the school that you were teaching at, what was the socioeconomic standing of like that particular public school?
So I worked in a couple of different. I worked in 2-3 different schools. So the first one, it was more lower socioeconomic class, and then the next one, it was diverse. There were also a lot of Asians and a lot of like Hispanics. I would say I think around 2% African American. So I forgot what the ratio was, but it was more towards Hispanics and Asians. Yeah. So we were called a a level. Oh man, I haven't been.
Level 1 penitentiary?
Level 1 juvenile hall, detention center.
I think it was tier 1. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. It was like level 1, tier 1 school where we had a lot of parents who it was like a lot of lower socioeconomic students where they had to, their kids were able to get free and reduced lunch.
One of those, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And then, I can't remember what the term was. And then we also had like funding for like after school programs just to kind of, enhance student learning and everything. But majority of most of the part, I would say the parents, the students, they were pretty good at the school I was in. Like I really liked my students. I mean, there were a couple, I'm not saying everyone, but there were a couple of students where I was just like I fear, I wake up, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I know this one kid's gonna do this today. But majority of the case.
A Bart type, probably.
For sure a Bart type.
Stressing out teachers. I feel bad.
Majority of the part, I feel like the parents, they were all very supportive and everything. Yeah. So
before we move on, though, I want Bart to just continue to feel bad for all the wrongdoing that him and
both of you guys, man.
Be really reflective right now.
I do feel bad.
Look, you see the guilt in their faces? Look at the guilt in their faces.
Just
say sorry to him, actually.
I'm so sorry.
You started this. You perpetuated these behaviors.